Hey there gamers, Sweet Johnny Cage here. Tonight I'm with one of our professional modders here at VGC. Today we're going to be showing you how to set up the flip top for the old school fat PS2. Now he's actually mute, so I'm going to be talking for him. So let's get started. First things first, on the fat PS2 you have a warranty sticker that you're going to need to either peel off or just slice. They're just letting you know that you do void your warranty. If you don't want to slice it, if you peel it off, chances are it's going to look ugly and it's going to leave an ugly residue that says void. So if you just want this to be clean, just slice it. It's a lot easier. You also want to take out the expansion bay port. Just kind of hold it together a little bit. Put that to the side. And then you want to flip it over and you want to take out, there's either 6 or 8 screws on your PS2 depending on which model you have. It could be 2 down here, it could just be the 6 up top. Get stuck. Now when you're peeling back the top, you want to peel it towards the power button, otherwise you could rip up the power button and rip that ribbon. If you rip that ribbon, it's annoying to replace because then you have to take apart a good majority of the system just to put it back into its port. Now, once you have the system up, if you're going to be getting a replacement case, you want to remove the power switch and eject button from the seat that it's in on the top. Right there. After you remove that, you want to be careful moving it out of the socket. Be very wary of that ribbon. If it gets torn in any way, chances are it's not going to function. Alright, so now after you have the top case stowed away for storage, you want to take out 2 screws. There are actually 4, but you want to take out the top 2 that he's pointing to. So you take those out. After you do that, this will remove the controller port as well as the memory card slots. That's another ribbon you have to be very careful of. That one doesn't tear as easily, but still just be very careful. And then you want to pop out the bottom half of the system, as he's doing right now. Now these systems weren't constructed the best, so they are a little bit tight. And you're done with the bottom half. Now be careful because you have all the ribbons flying around and they very easily could get cut. Can't stress that enough, be careful of those ribbons. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to replace the fan bay. Now this requires another 2 screws that are near the fan and the power switch, as he's showing you right now. So you remove those. Again, be aware of where you're putting these screws. It's best to kind of lay it out in stages. So after you remove these 2, also if you have a magnetic screwdriver, that really comes in handy with these systems, especially when you're screwing it back together, as you can see. Now you've got to go a little surgical with it, get that screw out. Then you flip it on its side. Oh yeah, be careful of the, not a ribbon, but it's wires this time. It's 2 very thin wires that actually supply power to the fan. Be very careful of that. It's short, so don't rip it, otherwise you're going to need either a new fan or a new set of sockets, which are very annoying to replace because this system has a lot to it. So you want to slip the fan into the new bay, which is a nice clear blue that we have on the site. Then you want to slip it back down. Oh yeah, blow it out with some canned air and a vacuum. While you have the system open, it's very good to dust it out. Some maintenance on your systems is never a bad thing. Just be careful not to rip anything. Now just be aware that there's some things protruding out of the system, a few clips for security.
Just be careful that everything is lined up, so once you screw it all back on, it doesn't look lopsided, because it has happened before, even to myself the first couple times I did these.
So when you're screwing it back on, don't screw them too tight, because these replacement cases are plastic just like the other ones, and you could crack them, and you really don't want to do that, because then your flip top is basically useless. So now you want to replace the system back into the bottom half of the case. Be very careful of the controller bay and the memory card slots. Make sure everything is lined up with all the, as you can see, it's very important to line everything up. Everything's seated correctly. And now you have all of the rest of the replacement parts. Okay, so there's a lot of different generations of the original PS2. I believe there's about 14 different versions until they started the Slim. Basically more enhancements and everything, but when you buy the kit from us, we do include all the parts necessary for all generations of the system. There is an extra screw that's only used for some systems. When you replace the flip top, you need that screw near the disc tray. But now what we're going to do is we're going to put in the two screws near the controller ports, or not. Again, don't screw them too tight or else you could crack it. These things are pretty fragile once they're being, built and everything. So we have 1 screw, 2 screw, and then your final step, or one of the final steps, is to take off these 4 screws on top of the disc tray. Use the same size screwdriver, it all works. You might want to look into buying professional screwdrivers only because the ones from the eyeglass repair kits do tend to snap if too much pressure is applied, and if your system's a little bit old, chances are these screws are in there pretty tight.
Tight like a tiger?
Tight like a tiger. Oh, it's a power struggle. A little bit of gold member action satisfaction for you. So we peel up the top of the disc tray. And now with the kits that we have, the white disc that you see on the top there is included, so you don't have to worry about taking it out anymore. It's in the case. Now, make sure you get all the dust out of your spinner. And then, okay, so now we're ready to actually place the flip top back onto the system for the first time. Back on for the first time. Alright, so you want to line up the power and eject buttons into the corresponding slots. You want to be very careful with the ribbon. Don't tear it, don't pull it out, because it's even more annoying just to put it in. So once everything's lined up, you want to take a black screw that you took out of the bottom of your PlayStation. Be very careful with the ribbon. You don't want to screw through it. I actually have done that myself before. I'm sure we all have. And then you take your Phillips head screwdriver, and then you want to screw it in. Now this is optional. There is a way to get it where you just kind of hold the ribbon onto the side, but this really just negates that. This makes it a lot more secure. So now that it's in and secure, yet not too tight, because it could crack. Now you want to watch out for the ribbon. It has to go along the side. And you want to put it top first, front first rather, and then pull it back. And now when you screw it all back together, you want to make sure that the ribbon isn't being crushed or anything before you screw anything back on. You flip it back over. Now you are going to be 1 screw short, but that's okay because on this system everything is pretty tight even with the 5. And there you have it. There is your PS2 flip top for the original 14 models of the fat PS2. Got some beats going? Alright, they stopped. Just want to thank you for modding, professional modder, who's nameless. Guys, I'm Sweet Johnny Cage. If you'd like to order this or the Swap Magic discs like this, you could look to the right of the video in the video description. There'll be a link to VideoGameCentral.com. Order from there. Thanks for watching. I'm Sweet Johnny Cage, and this is our professional modder from VGC.